Welcome to my channel. My name is Rhonda and life is delicious. I have some ideas and I figured why not take the time to show them to you guys now. I've always thought I should do something with this channel. I've had it for like 13, 14, who knows, many lots of years. Like, and what have I got on here? Nothing. Not much, at least. So I thought, okay, this stuff I like. Maybe other people like it too. So if you have ideas, if you have suggestions, feel free to let me know. Otherwise, let's just see what we got. The biggest thing that I have on my plate now is that I really want to compare stuff. Like, I don't know. Sometimes we think, oh, well, there's this really high-end thing and this really low-end thing. Let's compare those. Well, okay, awesome. What about the people in between? The people who can't afford the really high-end stuff, but maybe we get sick of like the dollar store stuff because it doesn't always end up the way we think it will. Well, I want to compare mid-range because guess what? That's what I can afford. Yeah! Anyways, so, this is dumb. Maybe I should write these out. I don't know. I don't like being scripted, but maybe it makes more sense if I was. So here goes. For today, I just wanted to point out or to compare some of these really cool pencils. So I know I've seen a few videos on these. These are the Koh-I-Noor Magic Pencils. Hang on, I know, we'll do the dumb hand thing. Everybody does the dumb hand thing. And so this is from the Magic set. I think I picked these up either at Michael's or at Hobby Lobby. I can't remember which. But they are the really fat, like, hang on, where's my camera? There it is. So they're the really thick ones, like about as big as my finger. And I know some people say, okay, well, these are cool and all, but how do I sharpen them? How do I use them? What do I do with them? Well, I happened to find this in the back to school stuff. Pretty sure it was at Walmart, but it's just by Fiskars. Oh, that wasn't the side with the name. Oh, look, it's backwards, unless it turns itself around later. I don't think it does. Anyways, it says Fiskars on it. It has a little sliding hinge, and when you look inside, there's two holes. Small holes, regular pencils. The big hole holds these perfectly. I didn't bring it out to show you guys, but I also have this funny triangular pencil that is for, I think, kindergartners and sketching, and so it's meant to not roll away on the desk when little kids are learning how to write. And I never could figure out how to sharpen that, but it also fits in this one. Some people say that they have good luck with the like eyeliner pencil sharpeners that have like a skinny end and a fat end. I haven't bothered trying that because I found this works great. The other thing I really like about it is that it holds all of the shavings inside the box. So if I'm out and about, oh, you can tell that I was shaving colored or crayons. Gross. Anyways. Keeps it from getting all over my bag, keeps it from getting all over the floor if I'm somewhere that's not home and I don't have a garbage can handy. So these pencils, some people say, okay, well, I color with them, they look weird. Yeah, they're not really great for coloring. At least these ones aren't, because they have at least, well, okay, so this guy has a range of fire tones. I know that the pencil is kind of this odd olive greenish with red swirls, but the lead in it is red and orange and yellow. So this one you could color, I've used it to color the hair, like my little orange highlights here, stuff like that, comes out all right. This guy is red, yellow, blue, and they're very, very, yeah, I'm not good at this mirror image thing. Let's see, come on, focus on that. Maybe you can't. I don't know, I'm using my cell phone. Not a great camera, and I'm using the wrong direction so that way I have a little window to see myself in. Got my son a GoPro. He always gets the awesome stuff. I get my kids the best stuff, and I get myself the mid-range. That's why I'm comparing mid-range. Anyways, so this one is red, yellow, and blue, and when you write with it, it kind of, they don't want to blend, or if it does blend and you go over it with layers, you tend to get like a middle brown. So this one is kind of a cool thing if you wanted to do like just, I don't know, if you wanted to do brown hair with a lot of funky depth and dimension, but otherwise I really like these for sketching. My probably favorite one for sketching, if you can see, I've worn it down to a little nubbin. Yeah, time to sharpen him. This one is despite the barrel being red and pink, it's red, white, and blue. And this one, when you sketch with it, it comes out to be like a kind of a cool purple tone as you layer over things. And I really, really like the way that it works because the red and the blue predominantly show up. The white doesn't look like anything, but it does blend and fill in the kind of crackly texture left behind if I'm using a textured paper. So this one is almost like a red and blue pencil with a blender built in. This guy is really fun for underlining things because it's similar to that red, yellow, and blue one. I don't know if you can see that, but it is fluorescent, orangish, kind of pinkish, and then bright yellow and bright blue. And then, of course, it's glittery. Who doesn't love a glittery pencil? But this one I really like for underlining things if I am reading and I need to bring something out of my notes. This one also has some really fun effects if you are doing little doodles and you're only doing line work and you're not filling in. If you fill in with it, it gets kind of muddy and it's kind of not so fancy, but great for line work, especially if all you're doing is sketching or doodling and you just want something that looks like you took a lot of effort, but it didn't necessarily take a lot of work. And then this one is probably my favorite for line work. So like I said, red and blue is my favorite for sketching. Like I did a sketch. Oh, there we go. Yeah, you'll get to know this about me. I'm super clumsy. Anyways, I did a sketch of my dog, little Mr. Dog. Hey, Licorice. Who doesn't love doggos? There's my doggo. Hello, Licky. I did a sketch of him once, and I did it with the red and blue, and it turned out really cool. But this one I really like for line work. In fact, I like it so much for line work. I didn't bring my art journal out here, but I'll go run and grab it. Just give me a sec. See, it really was a sec. Well, maybe more than 1 second, but anyways, I have this art journal that I'm working on. I was going to highlight it more in a different video, but I do want to show you kind of what the effect of this last guy gives. This one is sort of like a tropical blue and a, I don't know, a magenta pinky color, and then a nice golden yellow. And I'm working on a project for January where I have done outlines and then I'm coloring it in, and it's a little version of It's a Small World. Now, if you look up close, ooh, lighting is not getting great that close. You can see that it gives a really fantastical, bright and cheery, super colorful effect to the line work. I really, really like that for this project because each square is really just a two shades of the same color or 2 tones of the same color, depending on how I do it. And so this brings in just a little bit of whimsy, and it kind of helps connect all of the different elements of my drawing together. I like that. Anyway, I'm not going to show you guys more of this because that's going to be a different video. So, I have these cool pencils. Yay! Well, some people say, all right, awesome, but I don't want to pay, because on Amazon, sometimes they mark it up. And, you know, you're looking at it and you're like, why is it 10 bucks for 5 pencils? And then other times you look and you're like, oh, it's only like 5 bucks. I should buy now. And then you wait and then it costs too much. Guess what? Oh, I must have gotten these at Michael's because I probably used one of their 50 or 60% off coupons because I know I spent less than 5 bucks on it. So this one is a nice mid-price option and doesn't cost a lot. So something else that's similar that I found on Amazon, I will link below so that if you want to take a look at them. I think that this was about 5 bucks, maybe. And these ones are Chunky Rainbow Pencils by a company called NPW. It says that they're based out of Cincinnati, Ohio, but then it also says NPW London. So I don't know. American, Great British, I don't know. But that's what they look like. Fun. And the thing that I was curious about when I saw the listing, because there wasn't a lot of detailed pictures, is are they 3 of the same pencil? Because I've seen a lot of other rainbow pencils where you're buying like 30 rainbow pencils and they're 30 identical pencils, and so they're usually like, oh, which one? This guy. The one that is red, yellow, and blue. And some of them have 7 colors in it, which is kind of cool, but I didn't really want to cough up like 14 bucks for 30 pencils that were all identical. Unless maybe you guys really want to see what they look like, because they have supposedly 7 colors woven through them instead of just 3. If I get it, then okay, maybe I'll do a giveaway and I'll send out the other 29 to random people who comment. I don't think I've got 29 viewers, maybe. So we'll even see if there's that many people who are interested. If you think you want one, comment, we'll see. But these guys I was really interested in because they have color blends, but they're not the blends that these magic pencils have. So let's see if the packaging is going to defeat me. It's got one of these little sticky tabs. Sometimes these peel up really easily, sometimes they don't. As you can see, my fingernails are super ghetto because I painted them like a month ago and I'm busy and I don't like to sit still long enough to actually do my nails. Alright, sticky thing, I'll stick that there. Okay, so the reason why I thought these were super clever is they kind of reminded me of the Koh-I-Noor Tritones, which I've been really wanting to try. I've seen some people do a few short reviews on them or like work a little bit with them in coloring books, and I'm really interested in those. But this one, these 3 all have different blends from what's in my magic set. So these seem like they would go along with what I have really well, like they complement them. Because if you remember, I had this one that was a blend of all fire colors, red, oranges, and yellows. Well, this one has got a magenta and a lilac and a purple and a yellow and a little bit of an orange woven in there. So yeah, a little bit of a lavender. It's really pretty. So this one seems like pinks, purples, and a hint of orange and a hint of yellow. So it seems like it would really complement that other one. This one is all water tones. So this one's got some like lime green and some different shades of blue, and they kind of all blend into each other. So it's kind of interesting to look at the tips of these because they come almost in wedges of color, whereas these Koh-I-Noors, they are in grids of color. I don't even know how they do that. Maybe they like make canes kind of like polymer clay? I have no clue. It would be really cool to see that. And then this last guy here is all leafy colors. There is a yellow that is kind of green tending, so maybe, oh, what was the color name for that? Chartreuse? Yeah, there we go. And then there's some lime green and regular green and dark green. And so I feel like, you know, if we've got some greens, some blues, pinkies and purples and reds, then that covers, with these 4, you kind of have like a whole rainbow spectrum. And I feel like the colors that are in those are all reflected in this one that has that sort of more tropical-y color. I feel like this guy's a little darker, but it could really complement it. The neon also could complement, but lighter. So now I've got, you know, a little rainbow spectrum where I've got some more control over what colors I'm going to lay down. This is what I'm hoping, because I haven't tried them. And then red, white, and blue, which he doesn't blend awesome, so he's going to get put over here. We'll worry about him later. But now I need some paper. You can tell I thought this through partway, but not all the way. This would be the fact that, you know, not only am I clumsy, I got ADD. Whee! So, give me a sec. I'll go grab some paper. Alright, scratch paper time, because again, I'm ghetto. So when I finish a class, because I sometimes teach music, or in this case, drama, that's why I have old theater scripts, why throw them away? I draw on the back. Yay! Because a lot of times, especially if it's just a rough sketch or a to-do list, it's gonna get thrown away anyways. So, let's see. I don't know why I'm evening out this stack. I don't need to do that. Let's just grab one off the top. And we'll set it down right here. Okay, so first, maybe what I'll do is I'll test the magic pencils. So here's a little bit of the red, white, and blue. Just kind of a scribble. And you'll see what I mean. The white doesn't really do much at all. So you see just kind of like this nice red and blue. And the blue tends kind of more to an indigo purpley. Let's see, here's the glitter one. So this guy when I scribble with it, you can see it's got that neon orange, yellow, little hints of the blue through it. But when you just scribble, and it's kind of muddy. Meh. This one, the magic is in using it to outline things or as like just line sketch. Don't try and fill in. Okay, now we'll do this one. This is the red, yellow, and blue one. I always get thrown off because the barrel has green swirls in the marbling. This one is the one that when you just scribble, I feel like the blue kind of takes over and it turns it into a warm black shade. So this one is the one that could be cool if you're doing hair and you wanted, like I said, fun highlights or undertones in it if you're actually coloring in. Otherwise, this one, all of these are really good for line work. Okay, this is my favorite for line work. And wait, how did I, oh, I missed the red and the fiery. Let's do him next. I want to save my favorite for last. So this one, when you just give it a scribble, you see it's all warm flame colors. So there we go. And then my favorite guy on the end. This one, when you scribble, again, it kind of is a little muddy. But when you outline with it, you get all of those colors. And instead of scribbling them all together, they kind of come out in a row. Okay, now I'm going to test the 3 new guys. I have high hopes. I really hope that they're not cruddy. I basically want them to work just like these Koh-I-Noors, just in different shades. So this one is the one that's all yellow, purple, lavender, pinks. Okay, so this one, if I sketch straight down from the top, oh, you kind of mostly get just whatever shade. Like I said, these ones, so the Koh-I-Noors, if you look, they're kind of in a grid. You see that? So you get more of a blend. These guys, because they go in like spokes of a wheel, you have to rotate the barrel to get other colors. But I'm already used to doing that with the Koh-I-Noors because that's something a lot of people say, oh, do this to get more line variation. So this one is the Pinksy Reds, or Pinksy Purples. There's not really any red in that. But it's not horrible, but I didn't like the fact that I started out on the yellow side. If I was drawing with this, I would probably end up trying to avoid the yellow because I don't like it as much. Okay, now we're gonna do the one that's greens. So as you see, it's got lime, darker green, lighter green. There's some yellow in there. I'm gonna turn away from the yellow side. So if I want to avoid yellow with these guys, since it's a wedge, I'm gonna point the yellow up in my hand so that when I sketch, and then as I sketch, I'm turning the barrel like this way and that way. So we'll get hints of the yellow without it being predominantly yellow. This one's cool. I could see myself using this one to do leaves because look what happened as I turned the barrel evenly. I get kind of stripes as I color. That's kind of neat. And if you hatch over it, let's see what happens. So that's kind of cool. If you hatch over it and rotate the barrel, it kind of adds a little bit of 3D, a little bit of depth to it. That's neat. So it makes the bright greens greener and the lime greens limer, and then the stuff in between kind of blendy. And then let's try the oceany one. So this is the one that has the different shades of blue, and then there's like a little pop of that seafoam green. Okay. Oh, this one's fun. This one definitely would be if I was coloring in the background behind a mermaid. I could see myself wanting to use this one. Or if I was doing line work on fish, or, oh, I don't know, even a summer sky closer to where the grass is. So if I was drawing outside, and this would be like where you'd see some of the green reflecting up. Okay, so that's what they look like just all scribbled. Okay, so that's kind of fun. Now I'm going to do some line work. I'll try and do them in the same order. I think I'll just draw a circle of each shade, or with each pencil. Okay, so there's the red and blue guy. Here is the neon guy. He's going to take a couple of circles so that you can see how that one works, because it kind of, I don't know, it works a little differently. Red and blue, because there's only the 2 colors that pop through, it is just more of a ombre. Alright, now what did I have next? It was the red, yellow, and blue. Okay, I hope this part's not too boring. I don't have a setup to show you what I'm doing from up here. I don't even know if you could see that. Probably not. That probably just made you really dizzy. Probably shouldn't have done that. It's okay. We're learning here. Okay, and then here's the red, yellow, and blue guy. We'll do some concentric circles with this one. So it's interesting that when you color with it, it shows up predominantly blue, but when you sketch with it, you get a lot more of that red. Okay, oh, fire was next. I'm trying to do them in the same order that I did the scribbles so that you can kind of see how it comes out. All right, there's fire. Now my favorite tropical one. I love this one. I don't know why. It just makes me happy. Okay, and then on the next row, the pinky purple guys. And you'll be able to see that I cannot draw a circle to save my life. I can draw blobs. Ooh, see, in terms of the line work, this green one is real cool. And here's the blues. Okay. All right, so in terms of line work, you can see the ones that I really like are the ones that have more dynamic color changes. So like the red to blue, this one's really just like a red-blue shift. This neon one is pretty awesome, but you can see how it's kind of hard to see. That's why I prefer this one for underlining. This one was the red, yellow, and blue, and you can see how in the scribble, more predominantly blue, but in the line work, more predominantly red. That's the one that's fiery tones, so you can see why I would say I have used this to do more orangey hair colors, like up there. I've also used this for redheads, because you can get yourself some really nice color variation, but it's still just, it says a lot of red. And then here is my favorite one, and you can see that this one, like when they talk about rainbow pencils, I feel like this is the one that gets through most of the rainbow. And maybe it's because the blue is more of a sky blue cyan, and that magenta, instead of a red, it kind of gives it a gentler, more vibrant rainbow feel, versus like primary colors just coming together. I don't know. I like it better. So this is the one that was the pinks and reds, or the pinks and purples. I keep saying red. There's no red in this one. And you can see how some of that yellow-orange color kind of really pops in when you're going with lines, because as you go in a circle, it's only moving through like 2 or 3 of those wedges. So if I really wanted variation in my line work with this, I would really, really have to turn the pencil. The green one, I think this one turned out really well. This would be super cool for outlining leaves, especially if I was doing maybe a tree where I wanted to fill it in and then give it a few leaf shapes, but kind of let it be a little more impressionistic, so that I wasn't taking time drawing a tree that was super, super lifelike. I feel like this could give me a really good effect. And then this blue one, I really like this one. Like I said, I could see myself using this to outline aquatic things, anything like fish, mermaids, man, maybe even if I was doing kelp or seaweed, it'd be kind of cool if I outlined it in this and then maybe colored it in with this, blended with this. I could do some fun things. So these pencils seem like they're really, really good for sketches, because you can do a really simple, really plain sketch, like, oh, let's just do something silly. Let's do, I don't know, my lizard. I say this because I'm looking at her. This one is Lizzie. She's a little bit of a bully. And then Sahara's over there, but I can only see that she pooped this morning. Gross. So she's probably in her cave. So let's just do a little quick sketch, because I see Lizzie here. So let's do her little face, and then here's her little eyebrow ridge. I've never actually tried to sketch one of my Lizzos before, like not like this up close. So let's see, this is tricky because her head has got like this fun shape. Oh, how do I'm not like an awesome artist. I will tell you that right now. And she just moved her head. Thanks, Lizzie. Well, and here's her little leg. Ooh, legs. Oh, and their toes. I mean, I love my little pets, but their toes are so creepy. toe 1, toe 2, toe number 3 looks like a freaky talon. Oh, toe number 4 is even freakier. And where's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Oh, there's a 5. I'm like, you've got to have a thumb. There it is. Now let's fill in the gaps between the freaky talons. And you totally moved, but that's okay. So there's your arm, there's your neck bit, and since your body moved, the rest of that sketch is totally inaccurate. But your little eyes are cute. And you're covered in spots, and you're moved. So now your spot pattern is different. So I'll just pretend that I did that. I don't want to leave you unspotted, but I don't think it will show the line work as well. So let's just show my quick and crappy little sketch. Yeah, it was my lizard. Yay, lizard. But can you see how it really... I'm trying to capture this natural light from my window in the hopes that it shows up these colors better. But you can see how it's cool. I have this little rainbow effect. My poor little leopard gecko hasn't got any spots because, I don't know, maybe I can draw it all. I'm just picky and I want them to look like her spots because guess what? Lizzie's spots and Sahara's spots are different even though they're both about the same size. And they both have similar markings. So I'm just going to draw, and this is going to be some random lizard. It's not going to be one of mine because, heaven help me, you know, I couldn't do that, especially with them moving so much while I stare at them. But it's kind of cool because you can see at least some of the effect that the colored pencil has when you use it to color in spaces as opposed to line work. Man, and every time she moves, the spots look different too. So no, this is not Lizzie whatsoever, but it's fun. Let's see, she has a series of these little spots under her eye, back to her little eardrum, and then her body, she has what, dorsal spots? And then, oh goodness, she has like a big one, and then a figure 8 one, and then some little ones. And then she also has a little blobs all over her skin. Like, you know, you never notice all these weird things until you really try to think about, like, reproducing it. And again, I don't want this to be super detailed. I'm just trying to show you guys. Oh, and her underbelly is totally a different shade. So let's... She even has freckles on her arms. There. That does not look great, but that's okay. See? There we go. Now you can see how when you color in with them, if you have a fairly light hand and you rotate the pencil as you go, you can get some cool effects. So, would I use these for coloring in like a flower? Not this guy. Maybe the... Actually, I probably would use the new one, the one that's got like pinks and yellows. I have some roses outside that go from yellow to pink, and they have this kind of cool variation through it. And I could see myself using this one to kind of give me some of that, like pink with hints of yellows through it. Let's see how this, yeah. So see, I did some shading where I can control where it blends in, but I also think this would be easier to do with actual different shades of pencil in my hand, because then I can control more where it goes. This is more like if you enjoy watercolor and you like that watercolor can flow from one shade to another without control. Sorry, I'm staring outside because the garbage man came and I'm just realizing, oh no, my trash bin is out there. Hooray! Anyway, sorry, easily distracted. Anyways, these feel more like watercolor in that they are less precise and less controlled, but really fun. I think that these are awesome if you just want to sketch and doodle and you just want something to look like you did a little bit more with it than you actually did. You know, so like if I took the time to do this sort of rainbow effect with regular colored pencils, I would feel like if I did that on this sketch of my lizard, I would have wasted my time. But, you know, you saw it took me just a few seconds to doodle that, and it looks really cool for what it is. So if you have to do, oh, I don't know, quick sketches at a children's party, these could be really cool. You could say, hey kids, what color do you want your Disney princess in? And then the little girls or boys could say, I want a neon princess. I want you to do Princess Tiana in green. I don't know. I'm making this up. I've never done Disney sketches at a party. I have done face paints at a party. That was fun. And I've done quick sketches, but never something specific like that. Anyways, long story short, these are cool. They're not meant for dropping on the ground. Yay! Told you, clumsy. I don't feel like they're meant for filling in large areas of space in the focal point of your picture. I think these are really, really great if you are doing something either in a quick sketch style or impressionistic where you want to fill in something in the background fairly quickly and you want a lot of colored tonal variation. They also could do some really cool things with shading. So if you've done maybe like an overall color light hand, think of like cell shading, right? Where you, ooh, there's a fluff that just came out of my air vent. Go away, fluff. Shoo fluff. Shoo fluff. Anyways, so say you've already done a light hand single tone all over your picture, right? So like your person's skin is purple and her hair is blue and you want to give her some maybe galaxy tones. Pull this guy out and you can do some shading with it. And because this one has yellows and magentas with the blue throughout it, I think that you could achieve some really cool shading and technique going, I don't know, my brain just lost its phrase halfway through. Yay! Come take this journey with me as my brain loses its train engine steam thing. Anyways, yeah, I think that you could achieve some pretty cool stuff with this as long as you realize that the off-brand works similarly but different to the supposedly famous guys. I think both are worthwhile. So there you go. I compared. They're both cool. Woohoo!